For anyone that's new, this is the Cologne Talk X
TJ Talk Sense podcast.
episode 6, and we've got our second guest on here.
Yes, this is a special guest. Listen, we have to give this guy a big introduction. If anyone knows myself and Cologne Talk, you definitely know this guy. It's Mr. EauDeRagnar. He's not just a fragrance content creator. This guy's a businessman, and he actually has 2 fragrances of his own. So what are you saying, bro? How you doing?
I'm good, Mel. I'm good, lads. How are you two?
I'm good,
Doing
bro.
amazing.
It's a pleasure to be, gentlemen. Pleasure to be on the podcast with you.
So on our first episode, we dropped a poll and we asked everyone who they want to be like our first guest or who do they want on the podcast. You got 80% of the votes.
People, thank you.
Everybody wants you on here.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here, man. I'm glad to be here. Let's kick it.
So if there's a slight chance that someone watching this doesn't know who you are, who are you? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, name's EauDeRagnar. I'm a fragrance creator on primarily Tik Tok. I'm 27. I'm from England. So I've linked up with TJ, who's also from England. I know Cologne Talks really well through the app as well. And my focus is primarily fragrance content. That's what I do. That's my full-time thing. Love every second of it.
Wicked. And wait, I need to ask you a question. Where did you get the name EauDeRagnar from?
So Ragnar's a nickname, obviously because of the Nordic-inspired tattoos, which is my ancestry. So Ragnar's the nickname. And when I was making a fragrance account, I didn't know what to make. Everybody seemed to use the word fragrance, like Jeremy fragrance or such and such fragrance. So I wanted something different. And I thought, you know what, Oda, because Oda toilette, Oda parfum, I've got EauDeRagnar, why not? And yeah, man, that was first time lucky with that one. But that's where it came from.
It works. It's sick. It's sick. And if we rewind to the beginning of your journey, how did you get into fragrances in the first place? Because look at the collection behind you. It's a mad one. How did that all start?
Yeah, so this all started because I got given a bottle of Moschino Toy Boy, which is actually my scent of the day right now, for Christmas a couple of years ago. And I used to work nights at a distribution centre. And I came home one morning, early January. The bottle was on the side and I'd not really used it. I picked it up and I smelt it. I put the lid back on and I got up again from bed and I smelt it again. And I kept smelling it and I thought it was inconceivable to me at that time that a human being was capable of making that scent. It was instantly hooked. But I've always had like an interest in fragrances. When you go to the airport, I always wandered off into the duty free. And into the just looking at things and stuff. And it was that moment though when I got home from work, I think it was like the 3rd of January, when I smelt that Moschino, it was just like boom, the fire was lit and there was no way to extinguish it.
So you've been collecting for how long?
I'd say a little over 2 years. I don't know specifically, but about a little over 2 years. The collection's up to 194 bottles now, I think, something like that.
Jesus Christ. So what would you say the collection's worth then?
Right now, as it stands right there, probably about 13,500 British pounds. It's a lot of money, man. But it's the passion. It's the passion.
It's an addiction.
Yeah, mate, for real.
Between all of us, we probably got about 30 to 40K worth of fragrances.
Yeah, we've got a lot. We've got a lot. It's insane. It's insane.
And out of all of those bottles in your collection, which one's your favorite? I obviously know it. What's your favorite?
I was going to say you boys obviously know. I'm going to show it to the camera as well.
The one and only.
It's Arabians Tonka from Montal. It's my number one. It was the first niche I ever bought, and I bought it as soon as I smelt it from Harrods.
This guy has started the hype with Arabians Tonka. You probably made Montal about 50K.
Oh, mate, I've made them a lot of money.
So that was your signature scent for a bit, yeah?
It still is, mate.
Oh, it still is. There we go.
Yeah, it still is. It's me. So if ever there's like, a party, an event. So when I linked up with TJ for the event in London, that's what I was wearing. And TJ said, we were walking up the stairs, he's like, that Tonka is strong. This is why. It's my signature.
Even before that, when we linked up in Birmingham, you drove your car past me. I was standing outside the car waiting for him to come Cologne Talk, yeah? And then his windows were not even down. And I'm like, what the fuck? I can smell Arabians Tonka.
How many
Yeah,
sprays you be putting with that?
it was funny, but it's seriously, seriously strong stuff. And I'm an oversprayer anyway. So when I wear that, I'm talking 15 to 20 sprays. Like I put it in my hair with a hair protection pomade, all kinds of stuff. Like if I'm wearing a fragrance, mate, I want people to know I'm wearing a fragrance, and that is the one.
Love that.
Team
Love that.
overspray.
Yeah.
How many bottles have you gone through?
Of Arabians Tonka.
Yeah.
Personal use too for my business combined about 11.
Wow. So
a lot. There's a lot of Arabians Tonka, mate, that I've used.
so you decant, that's your main business, correct? Other than selling your fragrances and other than that.
Yeah, so that's my main source of income is obviously through decants, through my hair products, and then through my fragrances as well.
What is your most decanted bottle in like the most people I get it?
Arabians Tonka. Yeah, it's very closely followed though by Mancera's Red Tobacco. That's heavily decanted as well. Yeah, those two are popular, really popular.
Super strong fragrances.
Oh, this is it, man.
And how's the Parfums de Mali out there doing with decants? Because everyone wants to get a piece of that.
So when I put this on my website, when I first got it, it sold out within 3 hours. I didn't expect it to move like it did. It sold out within 3 hours. That bottle there now is empty, so I've got some decanted just behind me. And I've had that one for a week as well. That's just moving really, really fast.
Jeez.
Which is good, but it's bittersweet because I've got to keep buying bottles of it. It's bittersweet, man.
They need to sort you out a little discount or something, man.
Mate, I need something from them, but it's a fantastic scent, man. It's such a good scent.
So where does that rank now in your list of top list of Parfum de Mali fragrances?
It's number one. It's number one. So it was EauDeRagnar before Altair. Now it's Altair, purely based on the smell.
Yeah.
Man, I need to
you need to get your hands on Carlisle, man.
I don't like it, mate. Like this is another really hyped up fragrance right here, Haltane or Haltane, however it's pronounced.
I love Haltane.
I don't like it. I can't like it. I don't know what it is. I just don't like it. It just doesn't do it for me.
TJ has had a recent love with Herod.
Jesus Christ.
Herod
is, oh my God, it's so nice, bro. It is so nice.
See, Herod as well. Herod, Carlisle, Pegasus, and Haltane, they just don't do it for me. I don't know why they just don't. I should like them based on the notes and everything else. I just don't.
But you like Side Effect, yeah, by Initio, yeah?
Love it.
But Herod's got that similar vibe to it. I swear, you're gonna see. I'm dropping a testing the Parfums de Mali fragrances video tonight, and I swear, I nearly threw the test strip at the camera that I liked Herod so much. Like I was getting nuts.
You're getting a bottle soon.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the way the fragrance is constructed. I don't know if it's just, the way my nose reacts to certain chemicals or whatever. I just know Herod just doesn't do it for me. I'm going to go and revisit it though. Obviously, I'll always try something more than once. Yeah. So I'll revisit it and see if it's telling me anything different. I tried it with Haltane. It's just not making me boogie, man. I just can't do it.
And out of all of the fragrances in your collection, obviously you've tried loads of different fragrance houses. You probably tried them all. What's your favorite designer house and favorite niche fragrance house as well?
Niche, it would be Mancera because they are affordable. They're usually pretty strong, and you can get them in 120 mils. I like Mancera. I think the range that they offer is excellent. They cover everything and do it really well. They are synthetic, but as an entry level niche fragrance, which is what Manceras are, I think it's perfect. Designer, it'd have to be Armani.
Ooh. Oh yeah, you've got the oud, you've got the leather, you've got all of them from Armani.
I've got pretty much. There's a couple of Armani fragrances that I need, but I've pretty much got everything that's available from Armani. The reason I like Armani as a house for a designer house is because they cover absolutely everything. There's not one scent profile that Armani don't offer.
You've got the new Amber? The strong.
No, that's the only one that I haven't got.
That's next.
I'll be picking that up soon enough, though.
Yeah, you'll be picking it up in Dubai, innit?
Yeah, man, I'll be picking that one up.
Tell us a little bit about that. Tell us a little bit about that Dubai trip. Where are you going? Why are you going? What's happening behind the scenes?
Yeah, so it's me and Jury that are going. We're going with DXB as their brand ambassadors. So the purpose of the trip is obviously to get content heavily based on Afnan, Ajmal. I will be getting content from other houses as well whilst I'm there. And we've, as brand ambassadors, we've been in a joint project with DXB, which anyone from my TikTok knows I'm heavily involved with. And that is co-designing a fragrance. So it's not my fragrance. There is some confusion around that. It's not my fragrance. I don't consider it to be my work. We've just co-designed a fragrance with DXB, and we're going to launch that whilst we're over there as well. So we're going to be inside the Afnan factory, inside the Ajmal factory. And then me personally, I've got my own content planned as well.
And if someone had told you when you started TikTok, yeah, listen, you're gonna go out to Dubai, would you have believed this is you're explaining it to me, and I'm like, hey, this is actually mad. So I know, big respect though.
Appreciate that, bro. No, I wouldn't have, because I remember it was November of 2022, and I was going to work. I was working in the distribution center, and people would say, we did have the crack, they'd take the piss, and I knew when it was good-hearted banter and when people were genuinely just trying to take the piss. And I was on like less than 5,000 followers back then, so I was still a really small account and stuff. And to see where it's taken me now, like this is my full-time thing. It's sending me out to somewhere where I've always wanted to go. I've met, guys like you two. So I was saying something similar in my live stream once the other day when you were in there, TJ.
Yeah.
It's absolutely nuts, man. I love everything about it, man. What I do, the community, the opportunities it presents, the people that you meet, everything, man. It's perfect. Like, I'm living a dream at the moment, and it's that simple, man. I'm proper humbled and like grateful for obviously everything that's come from just following my passion. It's wicked. It's wicked, man.
Yeah, therefore a big inspiration to both of us. And I swear, I get loads of messages on a day-to-day basis from just loads of random people asking, "Oh, what fragrance should I buy?" And when I reply to them, they're like, "Oh my days, like you and Ragnar are my favorite. You guys reply to every one of us, and they're like, oh, we're your fans." And I'm like, just don't even call yourself fans. You're just like followers who enjoy what we enjoy, and we're here to help, innit?
Bro, tell the story of when we were in Selfridges.
Oh yes, so Cologne Talk and anyone listening. So we was in Selfridges in Birmingham, and some guy must have spotted us from like a little distance away, and he came over with his mum and was it his sister? I think it was his
Girlfriend.
sister, his girlfriend, his mum and his girlfriend, and then he was just like, we were so honored for a guy to just come up to us and be like, "Look, we've watched your content." He's like, "I had to stop. I couldn't leave without speaking to you guys," and it was just nuts. It was mad.
Yeah, it was mind blowing. Like, he wanted a photograph, and then the staff and the Valentino section, like, "Are you two people famous?" And me and TJ has stood there like, absolutely not. We're just two lads that like fragrances. And we were gassed, weren't we, bro? It was nuts.
Yeah.
It was absolutely bonkers because, I know TJ thinks the same, but in my mind, I'm just a guy from Stoke that likes to smell nice, man. And like, to see the love and respect that we get, all three of us, and then other creators from people that watch us, it's absolutely mind blowing, man. Yeah, it's mad.
It's crazy.
It's mad.
That.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Amazing, yeah. One day I'll go out and get noticed. It's a lot harder over here because it's a lot bigger, obviously. But I've seen TJ get noticed a couple times and photographing with people, and I'm always like, that's so dope to see.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
obviously
brilliant.
London's like the hub of perfume. So when I'm always, you guys see me posting vlogs all the time. So whenever I'm out, I'm bound to bump into like one person. But yeah, it's crazy. So someone's asking to take a picture with you. Like, who the hell am I? I'm nobody. Like, so it's
Yeah,
mad.
it's mad.
But Ragnar, why did you decide to start making content in the first place?
So the story behind why I actually got onto TikTok is not to be a fragrance influencer or anything. So my best mate is a musician, but he's always struggled with his confidence, and he wanted to make his voice a little bit more known. He needed a platform. So I said, okay, I'll tell you what. To prove that it's not too bad and that you don't have to worry about trolls, I'll start making TikToks, because I was anti-TikTok before I came on here. I didn't believe in yeah. So I came on and I was like, right, okay, what do I post about? I'll post about fragrances because that's, I know a little bit. I had a small collection, but I knew a little bit. and started posting it and posting it. I got a little bit of traction, you know, interaction with people, and I thought, you know what, I actually quite enjoy this. And then that inspired me mate to start posting his music, and it just went from there, man. I thought, you know what, I've proven my point, but I'm enjoying what I'm doing, man. This is a good little hobby. And I carried on doing it, mate. And it went from there. And now it's gone from a hobby to like, you know, my full-time thing, which is mad.
That's great to see. So he does music full time now, or he's just doing it on the side?
No, yeah. So he's just he comes from a family of big musicians, and he just loves playing his guitar and singing, and he just wanted to post his content, but he's a bit fearful of, you know, internet trolls kind of taking the piss. So I put myself out because I'm not really bothered, to be honest. Like, if someone's got a problem, they've got a problem. So I put myself out there to show him that it wasn't all that bad. And luckily, like, it inspired him to do so.
Yeah, and we've spoken about, like, obviously when you're making content and you're amassing a decent sized following, you're obviously going to get people who are being negative in the comments or on lives and all of that. So how do you deal with it? Because we were speaking and we say, we just look at it from, if you're getting 100 comments and 80 of them are positive and 20 is bad, why listen to the bad? Look at the positive. So how do you deal with it? The same way or different?
Same way, mate. And, you know, so my screensaver on my phone, it's a quote from Scarface. And it's something like, if you've got haters, you're doing something right. So if that's kind of the way I see it, if somebody's hating on me without an actual valid reason because they don't know me, they've never met me in person, I must be doing something right. I must have something or must be doing something that they truly want, and they're jealous. They're projecting it onto me. So honestly, I take it as a compliment. I've trained myself into that mentality because when I first started, I used to bite back. But you know, I sort of trained myself into taking it as a compliment. Like, okay, so you're obviously noticing me for a reason. I'm honored.
I remember your comeback videos to some comments. It was hilarious.
Yeah, that's what I mean, mate. It's not even worth the time anymore.
Sometimes it's
That's
nice
what
to
they're
get it out
wanting.
of your system.
Yeah, but that's what they're after. You know, people want you to sort of satirize their bravado by taking time to acknowledge them. Like, I don't. I'll read it, but I won't acknowledge.
Yeah, because you done that video one time when the guy said he was like telling you how to spend your money.
Yes.
And that was absolutely jokes, bro.
Yes. That's like the perfect example. So now if he commented, I'd read it and have a giggle, and I'd just delete the comments.
Yeah.
Be like, yeah, sound cool.
And then you see, in terms of content, obviously you drop daily videos, multiple videos per day. So do you struggle finding ideas? Do you ever get like creative block or writer's block, as they call it, or you good?
Yeah, no, mate. I think every creator's gonna come across it at some point. So there'll be times when I'm sat in this exact spot and I'll be like, oh man, what can I do? What have I not done? And he melts the brain. But I kind of do the same thing as I'd imagine you guys do. So if I'm out and about, I'll just be driving down the dual carrot. Okay, that's a video. And you know what I mean? I'll note it down on my phone.
Write it down, yeah.
Yeah, like videos can just come to you whenever. I bet you're in the gym loads of times, like pushing the weights, and you're like, "Oh shit, that's a good video."
Yeah. Or you know what I mean? I'll be in a shop and I'll think, actually, yeah, let's compare Armani and John Paul Gaultier in the next one.
Yeah.
Or you know, something like that.
So
So
yeah, go on, Colin, talk.
for anybody starting content creation, what is your biggest tip or mentality into going content creation that you would give them?
Repeat again, bro. Sorry.
If somebody's starting content creation in general or into fragrance TikTok, what is a big tip that you would give them going into it?
The advice I would give somebody is, I'd be honest, because one issue that I find with fragrance creators is people will change their beliefs to suit the narrative. So, as an example, I don't think Parfums de Marley Leighton's that great with fragrance. People don't like the fact that I'm very vocal about it, but I won't change it because that's what I believe in. Whereas a lot of people will say, yeah, it's a fantastic just for the like, just for the comments.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be one of my advice structures, is be honest, and then of course be, you know, creative with your content. Don't constantly copy what other people are doing, and be true to yourself as well, because we work within a niche, but you as an individual are also a niche. Everybody's got a different style. TJ's very laid back. you're pretty formal with your videos. You got your really nice setup. I'm pretty quirky, some would say. So I'd say, always be true to your personality. Don't change who you are to suit the camera or to suit what people want to see. Like, be yourself.
I like
Yeah,
that.
definitely. Because if you don't do that, it basically becomes like you're just acting. And then
Yeah, yeah.
how long can you actually keep that up for? There's gonna come a time where you're like, oh, this is boring now. I can't be bothered for it. Or you're gonna get found out, and people are gonna be like, nah, this ain't who the guy is. Like, I know him for real. So better you just be honest, because then you never actually have to like backtrack or like no one's gonna think anything bad of you if you're just telling the truth all the time.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, man. I'm a massive believer of integrity, I am. And I see a lot of integrity on TikTok, but I also see a lot of fake people as well. I'm not going to say names, but I know there's a lot of fake creators on the app.
Yeah. There's some snakes. That's always gonna be a thing everywhere.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
they know who they are anyway. We don't have to bait out no names, in it.
So how many bottles do you have in your collection right now? You've counted them? No? Got an estimate?
On an estimate, about 190, 195 maybe. I do need to count them. It's just a massive task and effort and just can't be
That's
asked.
how I feel about mine.
But
You
it's
got
roughly
anything new?
190, 195,
You got
something
anything
like
new in
that.
the way?
Anything new?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the next one I'm probably going to buy is going to be Xerjoff Alexandria 2. Huge fan of that fragrance, but it does cost a lot of money. There's a new Paco Rabanne drop, and it's 1 million oud. So I think it's an online and Middle Eastern exclusive. So I'll be
Yeah,
copying that whilst I'm in Dubai. Strong with you, Amber. I'll be getting. I do want another designer. I'm thinking Dior Homme Sport, and then maybe Raw Cherry from Aaron Terrence Shoes as well, because I've heard a lot of good about that one.
I need to grab an Aaron Turner Hughes fragrance.
I think you can get them over there though.
I think we have a site here that holds them that we can get it from. But a
Yeah,
lot
Max
of the
Verona.
times they're out of stock.
Mm. And
Especially
what?
hard candy elixir.
Yeah, that one's like gold
That,
dust to get your
that
hands on.
one
It's sold
flies
out.
off the shelf quick.
Have any of you guys smelt this? Boss Bitch.
No. I haven't
Yeah,
smelled anything from Boss.
I smelt that. That was. I don't remember liking that one too much. I liked the boss. Was it Boss Bastard? No, is that one?
Boss Bastards one, yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. I don't think I like the Boss Bitch one though.
See, I like this and I don't like Boss Bastards.
Wait, which one's the one in the gold bottle?
Boss Bitch.
That's the one I like. Yeah, so I like that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's got the gold plaque and then Boss Bastards just a black plaque.
yeah, I like that one.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
what do you think of this fragrance right here?
Sharaf.
Sharaf blend. What do you think of it?
He was taking a sip
Mate,
of
I
that.
think for £30, it's an absolute bargain. I think it's as close to Angel Share as you're ever gonna get.
Mm.
As you're ever gonna get. And one thing that people do get confused is, and I get it quite often, what's the performance like? Like, it's a £30 fragrance. It's never going to be a beast mode. It's never going to be this absolute rocket fuel.
Yeah.
I don't know, is it stronger than Angel Share? Because you're more familiar with that than me.
See, I get about 8 to 10 hours on Angel Share on my skin, and when I tested this over the last couple of days, I'm getting like 6 to 7. Which, look at £35 compared to £300. Can you complain?
No,
No.
no, of course you can't. So I always emphasize, especially on live streams, it's never going to be as crisp and refined as the original. It's probably not going to be as strong as the original, but you're also paying like a fraction of the price.
Yeah.
Scent wise, though, I think it's as close as you're ever going to get to Angel Share.
Yes. Scent wise is nice, and yeah, you could buy 10 of these bottles, and that's the same price as one bottle of the real thing. So don't be complaining. Anyone out there listening, don't be complaining. Is it the same performance? Out like you want to spend 35 or do you want to spend 300? It's as simple as that.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's
It's a
something
great fragrance.
I want to touch up on. How do you feel about clone and dupe fragrances? Because a lot of people hate them and always try not to get them. I know you have a big collection of Arabic fragrances in general. How do you feel about them?
So you're going way back to when I first started TikTok here. So when I first started, there was only really me, Jury, and Strong Style that were prevalent on TikTok. And it was only me that ever spoke about dupe fragrances. Strong Style didn't. Well, not that I can ever remember. Jury didn't. I've always been a massive advocate from them, and I always emphasize the point that I'm from one. I think we're in the top 3 poorest cities in England. My city, where I'm from, I come from an impoverished area, where most people do not make a relative income. So, as a luxury fragrance, well, as a luxury for yourself, I think they're absolutely perfect because in the real world, most of England, Northern England especially, they don't earn a lot of money. I think it's a great alternative to, spending 50, 60 onwards for the real thing. So I'm a massive fan of dupes. And 9 times out of 10, they are just as good as the originals. You could spray one on a tester strip and ask a fragrance expert, and they would not be able to pick them apart. 9 times out of 10, not always, but 9 times out of 10. I'm a massive fan of dupes.
Yeah, and I know Cologne Talk is the same. So whenever like because I have only really gotten into dupes over the last couple of months. It's not been something that I was into before. But the only reason I trust you guys so much when it comes to dupes is because in your collection you always have the real thing, or you've definitely tested the real original multiple times. So I'm not just going to listen to anyone who's talking about a dupe, but they haven't been out and smelt the original. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, every time I have a dupe, I'm not gonna probably talk about it if I've never smelled the original. Like, if I can't compare it, I'm probably not gonna mention it.
Yeah.
That's actually another good point as well. So going back to what advice would you give to someone starting fragrance content is only speak about things that you know about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you see a lot of people making slideshow videos and stuff, and full well they've not been out and tried a full bottle of Tony Iommi Special Monkey, and they know the exact specs of the fragrance for them. Stop the cap. It's the same with dupe fragrances as well. Yeah, speak relative to what you know and what you can be, again, honest about, rather than
Yeah.
looking for likes and all that kind of stuff.
And
Yeah.
and the thing here that we're saying, like to anyone listening, we're not saying you need to go out and buy the fragrance, but at least go out and test it, get a little sample, bring it home, test it over a couple of days, write down what you think of it. So when you come to get the dupe, you fully have all the facts on the fragrance. So we're not telling you to go and
Yeah, yeah.
spend money, just test it.
Yeah, of course.
Like a fragrance like this, a lot of people compare it to Bulgari Tiger. I've never smelled Bulgari Tiger, so I'm never gonna say it's a 1-to-1 dupe. I'm gonna say supposedly it's a clone of Bulgari
Yeah.
Tiger.
Yeah. I can confirm it is a dupe of Tiger
That's
or
cool.
Tigger, however it's pronounced. I don't know.
And
Me and TJ I got pulled up on this, and when me and TJ were shopping.
and I can confirm that Bulgari Tiger or Tigger, whatever it's called, is a terrible fragrance.
Tigger, I've never heard Tigger.
That's what the woman told me to say in the shop. She said it's Bulgari Tigger. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't care what it is. Just go and get it for me, please.
I've
And
never heard anyone call it that.
That may honestly, yeah.
and so we got 10 minutes before we wrap it up, but I definitely want to jump into the fact that Ragnar himself has 2 fragrances in his collection. How did that come about and how's that going for you, bro?
So when I first started getting a bit of momentum on the app, it was always something that I wanted to do anyway, was release a fragrance. So there was a lot of trial and error, a lot of talking to different manufacturers and a lot of options, because some people will white label a fragrance, which is taking something that's already done, slapping their label on it, and then selling it as a unique blend. And then there was formulations, and there was hybriding fragrances. I found the right supplier. We had a chat. The numbers matched what I could afford at the time, and we got it done. But the way I funded that was, by offering decants, which is probably my most important thing, to be honest.
So
Nice.
me and TJ eventually want to release a fragrance as well. What is a big tip that you can give us for trying to bring out a fragrance?
Ooh, trying to bring out a fragrance.
Yeah,
I'd
you got
say. So I'm assuming it's going to be like a formulated blend between the both of you.
No, separately. Like he
separate.
wants to
Yeah,
bring out one, I want to bring out one.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay, okay. Um, I mean, you guys already know this, but again, like, honesty. So if you have to pay, a certain amount of money more for a product that you know is good, rather than something that you know is mediocre, do it, man. Don't cut any corners with it.
quality.
A lot of people will release what's essentially shit, or stuff that's not even being tested or whatever. They'll release just shit with the label, clever wording, and they'll try and make money on it. I didn't want to take any compromises with my stuff. It cost me more than I originally planned. Didn't want to take any compromises with it, so I didn't cut any corners. Made sure everything was, made in a secure facility and everything would come with allergens and all this kind of thing. Didn't cut any corners with it. And then I definitely say try a few things before you fully decide, because your mind's a wicked weapon, man. You can change so fast. So make sure you're 100% before you release something.
How long did it take for you to release your first fragrance? Like the process was how long?
10 months total.
Wow.
Yeah, something like that, about 10
I
months.
should probably start now, and by the time I release it, it'll be next year.
Well, to be fair, I mean, you guys have already got really good followings. So I was already trying to plan things out when I was at like 7,000 followers. Probably even less than that, to be honest. You know, I was, what do I want? How do I want it to be? What should it look like? You know, where am I going to get it made? And it was all that kind of stuff. It was just a lot of trial and error, because back then, I also didn't know anybody in the fragrance community. I knew absolutely nobody, no creators, no contacts, no businesses, nothing. Whereas now it's much easier because I'm pretty well connected in the community. I know a lot of brands and I know a lot of influential people as well as other creators as well, you know, where people can help you out and put you in the right direction. So I'm currently working on my third one, which is going to be done a lot faster than me previous two.
So that would be 3 fragrances in the collection.
It will, yeah, but the third one, so the next one is going to be something different from what I've already done. So it's not going to be like an EauDeRagnar fragrance. It's not going to have my symbology on it. It's going to be something completely different. Completely different.
You got
Is
any
it still?
sneak peeks or anything on a note or two that's in that fragrance?
It's going to be vanilla heavy.
Ooh.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's going to be a very dense vanilla fragrance. It's going to be a gourmand.
Put
If I
some
don't get,
booziness in there, and TJ is gonna buy a bottle as soon as it drops.
Hey, if I don't get the first bottle, I swear to God, we're having a fight, bro.
It's we haven't fully decided yet, but it should be based on toffee and vanilla. Yeah, it's going to be naughty anyways, and I can say that it's not being made in the UK either. This is an international operation.
Ooh, I can't wait to get my hands on that.
Because there's
Yeah,
two
it's going to be
toffee,
good, man.
there's 2 toffee and vanilla fragrances that come to mind that I absolutely love. Yeah, I dropped a video. I recorded a video today, and it's Azara the Most Wanted Intense and Aaron Terrence Hughes Slut. They both got toffee and vanilla. Oh my God, this is gonna
Mate,
be
them
beautiful
two
stuff.
are such banger fragrances.
Yeah,
They are
let's
good
go.
stuff, man. Those two fragrances are insanely good.
That's sick. That's sick. I want my name engraved on it as well. Yeah.
Ooh,
Nah,
special
I can get it sorted
request.
before you go, don't worry.
That's gonna
But
cost a little more.
I'll pay. I'll pay. But so you're obviously a big figure in the fragrance community. Anyone's top list of who their favorite creators are, you're always appearing on the list, and everyone knows your name. You're flying about in all the comments. What is your kind of end goal now, or what's your future goals other than the third fragrance? What do you want to achieve?
So for me, I haven't got like a dead set goal. There's not one finish line where I'm aiming for. So of course, it's now I want to build a really big, respectable fragrance brand. So I've released 2, and they're connected to me, and they will always be. They'll be more on like TikTok and stuff. But for now, I'm trying to branch out with my latest project and get that nationwide and potentially even worldwide. While still being a fragrance creator, because one thing that pisses me off is you'll see these big houses, Prada, Dior, and so on, and it's men wearing suits in a boardroom will do this because people want this. They don't actually know about the passion and the creation of fragrances. It's men in suits that give it to men in white lab coats, and then it gets sold. I want to try and put some of the love back into fragrance, and by knowing what people want and knowing what people are looking for, and offering it back for a really fair price. So that's my goal, while still being a creator as well, while not taking any bias, still making content about other brands, not always pushing my stuff, still interacting with, lads like yourselves and the community as well. So it's like, it's more like a parachute kind of thing that I'm going for rather than just like, a straight line to a direct place.
And we're both definitely here to support you along the journey, but just don't forget about us.
Likewise
Yeah.
to yourself as well, lads. Likewise to both of you.
Always much respect to you, man. You've changed the game.
Nah, I haven't, man. You two are humbling me too much.
Because I was even speaking to Cologne Talk about this a couple months ago, but I'll quickly put it in before we finish. And you see, when I said, "Oh, I'm like TJ on tour and I'm going to link like loads of different people," I swear to God, I shit you not, I had so many messages after I linked up with you asking me, "Hey, what's Ragnar like in real life? What's Ragnar like in real life?" And I was like, "Hey, you guys won't believe this is one of the coolest guys." And I had felt like I'd known you for years. It might sound a little bit wet, but yeah, man, the guy's a cool guy.
Nah, I appreciate that, bro. And it went the other way as well. People like, is TJ nice in real life? And I think you were in the live, weren't you? And I was like, he's one of the most down to earth, humble lads I've ever met. So I was like, I got enough love for TJ. He is he's probably like TJ's probably my favorite British creator because I know what he's about and I know he's got integrity as well.
Let's go.
TJ is the GOAT.
You lot are the goats, bro.
All right. So Ragnar, before we end the episode, you got anything to say? You know, plug your website, plug the TikTok, plug anything you got, man. Go for it. The stage is yours.
Nah, so it'd just be like obviously to both of you, to other creators out there that do support, you know, like Rivera Edge, FB Fragrances, Comedic Sense, you know, people like that. And then to everyone of course that does watch the content of not only me but all of you guys, like without all of you, the ship sinks. You know, so you know, people can praise me and they can say, you know, great creation and stuff, but I also realize it's not possible without any of the aforementioned. So like thank you to each and every one of you, both of you two. Again, everyone that watches and everyone else, because the community makes the community. You know, there is no community without everything. It's you know, it's a cog and wheels. So yeah, man, I'm proper grateful and appreciative. I don't need to plug my website, you know, we do well enough. It is there though, if anyone wants to know or wants to see. But nah, it's more about like being appreciative of everyone and like, you know, you guys, everyone that watches, all the other creators and that the community makes the community, man. So yeah, I'm grateful and appreciative to all of you, man.
We appreciate you for coming on, man. It was a pleasure. Always much love talking to you. Everybody,
Nah, it's been my pleasure and privilege, gents. I'm looking forward to watching it back, man.
Wicked.
Y'all have a
And
great day. Everybody
love
who's
for the love.
watching, let us know how you liked the episode.
Cheers,
Peace out,
peeps.
everyone.